when I first got to the Rhode Island area, there was a less active lady who came back to church. And she said, "Others, when you come to my house, I want you to teach my son. He's 11 years old." And we're thinking, great. Baptism, right? It's be fantastic. And we go over and we start teaching the son. And he liked it. I wasn't super crazy about it. And a couple weeks into it, we finally kind of met the dad. He came in one night. The first time I met him, he worked landscaping and came in and had his water jug and his cooler and, you know, some rough clothes because he'd been outside all day. That's what he did every day. And came in and very nice, very polite. We shook his hand, introduced ourselves, and that's when we kind of began to work with the whole family, getting the whole family to kind of start to come to church and to teach him and everything. And I don't know if I have the amount of cells in my body compared to the amount of invitations we gave him to be baptized. We asked him time after lesson, after multiple times in a lesson, had been to church for months, and we'd been there forever. And then I'll never forget, I left the area, went to North Providence, so I was still in the ward, but just not in that particular area. And I got this phone call one day. I pick it up, and Elder Rogers, this is Mario Pacheco. "Hey, hermano, how we doing? Like, what's going on?" He goes, "Hey, I got a question for you." "Yeah, what's going on?" "Where are you going to be May 4th? I was like, "Working?" I don't really know. He goes, "Well, hey, I need you to be at church. I need you to baptize me." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible." And I talked to him, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, after 270,000 times that I tried to ask, like, "You finally did it. This is fantastic. Like, this is great." And we just sat there and just congratulated each other. He was going to get baptized with another part member family in the ward, and they were friends, and he had arrived, finally the decision to kind of get baptized. And there's a few other details of the story that contribute to it, but it's not the main point I want to make. And so that day came around. We had a fantastic baptismal service. The whole ward was there. It was really big. A couple families were kind of made whole, so to say. And there was a really sweet spirit. And the one thing that everyone has to know, it doesn't matter where you serve, your missionary service goes beyond your 2 years. I got home in January after baptizing him that May. So 8 months later, I was home. Then I get a call that late summer. And it was his wife, Glenda. She goes, "Elder Rogers, how are you?" You know, that title's always with you forever, with the people that you serve. And doing well. And we got talking. She goes, "Hey, like this December, like what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know what's going on." She goes, "Well, we're getting sealed, and I want you to come out." And so, I mean, long story short, I made it back out to Boston, out to the Boston Temple, and participated in their sealing. And what a sweet thing it was to sit next to this man in an endowment session, and having seen him for the first time when he walked into the door, and having him just being an investigator, someone that I didn't know at all, to sitting next to him in the temple doing an endowment, then to be their witness at their sealing, to do the translation for the marriage advice that the sealer wanted to give them, and to participate in that, and then be there to feel and experience that spirit was absolutely incredible. And there's a saying, you leave your family for 2 years to go offer eternal families to others around you, and it's true. And that's why you go, that's why you serve, that's why you work. It's for those opportunities and experiences that await you, and even if you're not present, even in the opportunity to give other people to enjoy those eternal blessings are great.